Hey everyone, welcome back to Door.78. This is a relaxing 30-minute tutorial painting named Trio. This is to either start your day or end it. So go get your materials together, grab your choice of drink. Feel free to stop, rewind, or pause for another time. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share our channel. So let's get started, everyone. So as we see, we got our water, our towel, our palette, pencil, eraser, large flat brush, our filbert, our round brush, our detail brush, our makeup brush for blending, and our colors and gels. So that was the gel, that was brown, that's red, black, blue, yellow, and white. The gel is used mainly to, thin the paint out, make it go smooth. So now I'm putting down some brown because that's what we're going to start off with. Taking that large flat brush that has been so kind to me. I'm wetting it, then drying it out because I don't want anything drippy. So just taking a little of that gel with the brown. Now I'm putting this paint on here in like X's. So we want X's on both sides all the way down to the end of the canvas. We want to stay away from the middle. And it could be light, it could be dark, whatever you like. Just X's, just make it more, I don't know, it makes it look different. It gives it a different texture to the background. So you have to keep going back into that paint because you don't want to just put a lot of paint on your brush and then you don't use it, you'll be wasting paint. So now I'm going in with that white. And remember, we said we stand away from the middle because we want that middle to be a little lighter than the sides because that's where our light source is going to be from. So we want that, lighter than the sides. And we're also going to make the sides a little darker because we really want the light to come through. So yeah, we're just taking our time. We're making those X's. I'm closing up the middle some. It's just by choice. It's not anything that you have to do. Whatever color you use and mix it with white, with a little bit of white. And then you see the sides. I'm going in to make them a little darker. All right. We want that light to stand out. We're getting all full coverage of the canvas while doing it in X's. So now we're cleaning off our large flat brush, laying that to the side, picking up that filbert, wet it, and we're going into our white. And all we're doing is we're making our little fluffy clouds right now. We want them to look like something you can just lay on or walk on, just something so comfortable and I don't know, something I would want to lay in. So we're going in like a wave motion and we're going to do wet brush and we're also going to do a dry brush technique. So we're doing that all the way down to the end of the painting. So that's right up under the half mark. We laying that filbert brush out. Now we're going in with that makeup brush to blend. And we're blending because we want some hard areas, but mainly some soft areas. So we want to blend it real good. Now you will see me come back in with the white because I want to have the reflection of the sun on there. I mean, from the light, I'm sorry, from the light. So you just add your white where you think you need some reflections at, and then we're going to do some more blending. So now we're going to put that brush and pick up our makeup brush and blend some more. Now with this, you have to keep going back in and out sometimes just to get it how you would like it. So you will see how I'm going all the way down to the bottom. I'm going to the top, everywhere. Now I'm going back in with my filbert brush. Those two soft areas, I'm just going ahead putting some reflection on them. Then I'm cleaning off that makeup brush because you don't want that wet at all. It's got to be dry. I put down a little more white, put down some brown, and I mix them because I also want some dark areas and my little fluffy clouds. Just some just some dark areas because we have the light shining and not every area is light. So you have some dark areas there. Now, I cleaned off my filbert brush and I was trying to get my Bob Ross on and I was being too excited and some of the water got on the paint on the canvas. And so you see there is just circles. You know, the best thing about acrylic is so forgiving. I'm cleaning off my makeup brush there. You know, once it dries, you can just go right over it. So I'm going in with that round brush. Remember, it's pointy at the end. And I'm going to put down my red. And I'm just saying these colors because in case you don't have this particular brand of paint, you can, they still the same colors. You can use them. Put down my the white and I laid down some blue. So now I have my white, mixing it with a little bit of red. And all I'm doing here is making footballs or almonds. And then I'm closing them. These are the petals of the flower. Now, someone told me that, you know, when you're having a bouquet of flowers or when you're painting flowers, it's best to do odd numbers. And it does look, it looks good to me with odd numbers. So that's what I try to do. Hey everyone, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Tell your family to come check us out. And maybe you guys, they can sit back and relax and paint too. Okay, so now I'm going in, showing you that I'm going into the blue, but I'm not going to do it because I realized I needed to do the white first. So I paused a second. Then I went and I did the white. Now, here's the thing. I didn't like this flower. I didn't. I didn't like the petals. I didn't like the how I did them. But again, acrylic is like amazing because I did the flower. I even tried to say, oh, okay, well, let me add a little something to see if it'll work. And nah, yeah, that just didn't look good to me. So what I did was I took a little bit of brown, and since the white was still wet, I just went on and covered over it. So that area I made it light, and then I had to darken the sides again. And I didn't mind that. That's fine. It's not too much of anything. But I didn't like that flower, so now you just you just let it dry. I got a couple of fans. These are personal fans, if you know what I mean, ladies. This this great person, she uh she sent them to me and she makes these. So I will leave her information down below so you all can contact her if you want a fan or she has so many other things on there. Okay, so now I'm checking to see if my paint is dry. Once you rub your hand across your painting and there's no paint coming off on it, then it's dry. So now we're going back to that that round brush. And we're going into the white. And I'm taking my time this time with my footballs or my almonds, whichever one. And you guys, you don't have to use the colors that I'm using. It's up to you to do whatever you like. And see, I liked it this flower. So I was satisfied with it. Closing my little footballs. I didn't clean my brush off. I went right into the blue. I mixed the white with the blue. Same thing. Footballs or almonds. And you can make your flowers whatever size you like as well. It's totally up to you. You can make them smaller. If you make them larger, that I would love to see how that look. And you can add as many flowers you want. Your painting don't have to be named trio. It's okay. So I'm finishing up these flowers. I'm about to go into the brown and yellow. So we're gonna clean that brush off, go into the yellow, put a little bit down like pea size, get some brown, and we're gonna do it in the middle. So you put a little spot there and then just maybe go around the leaves or the petals. I'm sorry, not leaves, but petals with just a little bit of the brown. And I wanted to hurry and do this part because I wanted the yellow to mix in with the brown. I washed my brush off because I wanted it pure yellow on there. Because if I didn't wash it off, it would have been more brown than yellow. So later, I went back in. I don't think I showed that part. I went back in with the yellow and white so it can pop. So now it's time to sketch in our vase. Um, I didn't really cheat here. I don't call it cheating. It's just that my hands wasn't so steady this day, and I knew I wasn't gonna make a really good circle. So I used some different. I wanted different sizes, so I used different things to make a pretty narrow neck of the vase, but I wanted a nice wide bottom. So I traced the top. Yes, I did. So now here I'm just cleaning it up, making sure it looks decent. And I wanted it, like I said, a narrow neck. Remember when you're sketching, you can see I'm holding the pencil real tight. You don't have to do that. You can let your hand breathe and let your arm relax, your wrist. I'm cleaning off the detail brush because now it's time to go into the water. So I tried to mix the paint with the water, just trying to see if I would like how the look would be, and I didn't like it. So I had to go just lightly with the colors. So here I am with the stems. Listen, if you don't like how something look, that's okay. Don't stress it. You either l- paint over it and let it dry and, paint back over it. Or don't worry about it because it's going to be covered up anyway. So a lot of the times with the paintings, with a lot of artists, it's us really trying to get things just right, how we like it. And you don't have to do that all the time. Maybe you made a move and it was the right move and it looks good. So if you see here, I wasn't satisfied with them, but I wasn't going to paint back over them because I just needed the stems at the bottom as a reference, as a guide when I put the water in. So I'm cleaning my filbert brush off now, and I'm going into my blue. And I am trying to make sure I stay as close to the vase line as I can. And you don't need a lot of paint here. I suggest that you don't use a lot of paint. Um, Once you get the edges done for your vase in the water, just go lightly with the paint. It looks better lightly with the paint. So I'm filling in the water part, and I want the stems to look like they're standing in the water. So what I did was brought um how can I say this? Yeah, I drew the circle, the rim of the water around so it can look like they're standing in the water. Now here I'm using white. I didn't clean the brush off. I'm still using that same brush. And I'm using white as a reflection because the light is coming from the top. And so I wanted it to make sure that it was also in the middle of the water. And then I'm going to blend it, blend the sides of it, and a little bit of the middle. But I'm going to go back in with more white. I did a lot of full coverage there. So here I am cleaning up my brush. I'm trying to get that blue out the brush. The towel is wet, but it's not too wet. So it's good enough to still keep that brush dry, that makeup brush. Now I'm filling that top part of the water in, darkening it and lightening it in certain areas. And I'm using a gel to make it a little smoother. Just a little smoother. If you see that. And I'm filling that rim of the water in. Now I'm adding more white for the reflection from the top. Cleaning that brush off. I'm going back with the filbert. I'm gonna tell you something. It's you gotta know when to step away from the painting. And now I'm taking a little bit of that white, just a smidget. And here's where I'm making a reflection in the glass. Just a small reflection. It don't need to be a lot. And I'm doing it in white, but then I'm going to add a smidget of red, just a little bit, just to show that that red flower is where the reflection is coming from. It's coming from the red flower. So I'm trying to make sure I get that blue so it won't mix with the red on that makeup brush. So just a small amount, and I'm steady blending. I'm making sure I blend because you don't want it to be a very hard shadow, not a shadow, but a what is it called? A hard reflection. Okay, so now I'm gonna use a little bit of white with that same brush to outline the vase, just a little bit. You barely see the rim of the vase, but you can tell it's there. Cleaning off my brush, going back into the white. Now it's time for the reflections of the white, and that's not much. You do a couple of streaks, just a few, and then you blend it with that makeup brush. Make sure you never wet the brush. If your towel is damp, just rub it on the towel. Now I'm going into the blue because the reflection of the blue flower is there. And then don't forget you have to blend with that. And if your brush is slightly damp or a little wet, it's going to make more smudges than you expected. So just be careful with that. So now I'm back with my favorite brush. That's my favorite brush, you guys. And I'm going in with that white. Then going back in, I'm going to outline the face. Just very little, very little. See, the thing about that I like about this painting, you don't even have to do the whole vase. It's kind of sort of like it's invisible. It's very, very thin. So what I did was mix a little brown with a little bit of water because I saw some areas where I went out of the vase, and then I took some brown and white to do it at the bottom of the where the water begins. So the thing that, I was telling you guys earlier, you don't have to worry if it's something that you don't like, because maybe you are feeling like you're not trusting the process of the painting. Just just trust the process. Some paintings go through ugly phases, and you have to get past that. So now it's time. Remember I said that I used those stems as a reference as to where I wanting to be in the glass. So there, that's where they were. And when you're dealing with a vase with water or anything with water, everything inside the water is magnified. So you would definitely have larger stems at the bottom of the vase than at the top because it's in water. So it's a little larger than what's at the top. Yeah, so I'm cleaning off my brushes. Everybody, please don't leave your brushes in your water for a very long time. Please don't do that. It could damage the brushes. It could start loosening up what's holding it together inside the casing, and then you start losing bristles. You don't want to do that. So take care of your brushes. And sometimes, trying to find the right brush if you purchase the most expensive or the most, the most inexpensive, you just give it a try and see what feels good to you. Because art is supposed to be relaxing. When you're painting, you should be relaxing. So now we have done our background, our fluffy clouds, our flowers, our vase, our stems, our water, and our reflections. So I'm just cleaning up in some areas. Remember that brown and white that I made? I'm just cleaning up, what I didn't like. I'm using the blue and the white to go back in. See how that's what I mean, ladies and gentlemen. Step away from the painting. You can get so lost in the painting and just keep going like, let me add a little here, let me add a little there. Painting is so relaxing. It's so fun. So right here, I wasn't satisfied with the top of the water. So now I'm going in with my small detail brush. and I am signing my name. So the last step to the painting, ladies and gentlemen, we have made it, and this is trio. Hopefully I can see your trios. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thanks for watching. Bye.